Hey, hey, hey! Yokosu minasan, genki desu ka? It's your boy, Killer69 desu. Whew. It's been a minute, it's been a minute since I make a good video. Last genuine video was fucking Lost Belt 6 video, and after that, I haven't made a video in a while. Like, those shorts does not count, am I right, folks? Like, they are unserious stuff. But, yeah, finally, I am on mood to make something serious. I am on to make something genuine. Because, whenever I make a video on something, like, if video is like on a 20-minute length, like that shit is serious to me. Like, I am putting something there. Like, my videos are shitty. You all know that. But I feel that if I'm putting something that reach 20-ish minute or beyond 20-ish minute, I'm putting some effort there. Like not good effort. Like, I'm not trying to make a video good or anything, but something is there. Like, slightly, like something is thrown there, and I think this might be one of those videos. This might be one of those type, because like whenever a video is on 20+ minute, I'm passionate about that topic. Like, my rest of the like 12 to 15 minute video, I like about those topic. Like, I have something to say about them. They fascinate me. But whenever I think I reached the mark of 20+ minute one, I'm really giving shit about that thing. Like, this thing means something to me in a very poignant way. Something that connect to me and something that resonate with me. That is why I am willing to make a long video about them. And this is what happened here. This is exactly what happened here. Sharin no Kuni is something that require a lot of time. Require me to talk to you all in depth. Like, it's not something that I can just make half-heartedly. Like, the thing about Sharin no Kuni is it's a video that I need to try my somewhat best. Like, I need to put some effort here. Because Sharin no Kuni is that fucking good. Sharin no Kuni is one of the greatest thing ever. Sharin no Kuni required effort from me. It's that fucking good. So, buckle up. This is gonna be a long video. I don't know. I hope it will be. But, Sharin no Kuni, man. Sharin no Kuni is a type of media that is not enough. We don't have enough of shit like this. Like, we all know, visual novel ain't on a good state right now. Like, the guys who can make profit from it are very few. Like, only one which cannot fail from making visual novel is fucking typing. Like, they can make any visual novel and it would be fucking profitable venture for them. But not every company have luxury to be typing. Industry don't work like that, unfortunately. Like, world is very, very fucking unfair place, and not a lot of profit is turned around from the medium these days. But I do think that the medium is going back to the niche it was, rather than being something that big in first place. Like, I think we are going back to the time when the medium on its medium starting day in the 90s period, when most of the stuff was porn, and like there was maybe few good genuine stuff, and we are back in that time frame again when a lot of stuff is Q-Europe, like, wrong name of the company, I could fuck up the name of that, but if you like look at the most sold visual novel from computer, like, most of them are fucking porn game. It's kinda unfortunate, but hey, it is what it is. This is what industry have kind of reached on. But VM was a thriving medium in its boom period. Shout out to Sachi. If you know, you know. But it was on a thriving stage in 2000s, and like 2000 to like maybe 2080, like 2000 to 2010, absolute fucking peak of power. Maybe not 2010, but 2012, like medium was in its fucking peak of its power. 2012 to 80, something was being cooked. It wasn't as strong, but something was there. Something was there. Like Rans 10 happened in 2080. And like, you cannot call it weak year per se. Like Rans fucking 10 happened in that year. But yeah, Sharin no Kuni represent why visual novel is such a very different medium. Sharin no Kuni require patience from you. Sharin no Kuni require time consumption from you. Sharin no Kuni need its visual novel structure of patience, of you knowing its character, you knowing, becoming familiar with them. Like it's painting you, it's layer after layer, layer after layer. Like it's giving you something there, and later you explore the depth inside by focusing more on each aspect as chapter goes by, and you learn more and more and more and more about all the aspects. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Like, Sharin no Kuni cannot be described by one thing. Like, Sharin no Kuni is something that I cannot just describe it easily. Like, one of the best experience of my life. This is why this video exists. But to describe Sharin no Kuni in depth, I think the first thing I have to say is, like, it's very, very one of a kind work. Like, dear fucking God, it's one of a kind work. Like, I don't know if I have seen anything like it since or before. Like it's fucking grandiose, but intimate at same time. Like, I will explain. I have yapped a lot, and this is just the fucking introduction part of the video. Oh man, we are in a long journey. Yeah, I'll remember the line of Heart Part 5. If culture is like, it's not a line, but grand scheme of thing, the message of Heart 5, that fuck the culture if it's generating broken people after broken people who are not realizing that they are in fucked up place. Like, fuck the world that ain't compassionate enough to realize the pain of the society, what everyone feel. Like, screw the culture if it's generating this world. Like, if it's generating a norm like this, Sharin no Kuni is that. Like, there is no society. It literally end with that message. Fuck Margaret Thatcher though. Fuck that bitch. Like, why the fuck great quotes like this have to be from such a horrible dipshit person like fucking Margaret Thatcher? Oh man. But yeah, fuck her, but that quote is on to something. There is no such thing as society, but people who are suffering or think they are going good, but in their heart of heart, throughout the status quo. Like, sometimes maintaining status quo is necessary, because if you fucking mess with status quo, sometime things can get fucked up really bad. Like, even when you think the quote unquote movement that changed the status quo, it was not easy thing to do. It was not easy thing to do. When the civil rights bill was passed, There were riots all over the country. When slavery was abolished in America, there was fucking riots in everywhere. There was lynching everywhere. There was like chaos all over the country. Like civil war happened. Y'all know what happened when slavery was abolished, and we were on the way to do that. Like challenging status quo might be even deemed as something wrong. Don't challenge the societal norm, as one said. But if something is broken, if something is so much fundamentally broken, it need to be challenged there. And the theme that Sharin no Kuni challenge is the justice system. Are we changing the people? Are we just trying to create the guilty people here? Are we even doing our job well? Are we challenging the status quo? Are we just using the name of quote unquote justice to just satisfy ourselves? Like, this is a broken world and made with broken law. Like, we are not doing anything much to challenge it, to challenge the norm, to challenge the society. Like, not just to challenge the society, but we are not even using the law to betterment of the society. Like, it's a society filled with loophole, like loophole to cut the tax, loophole to get away from trial. There is shady stuff going on behind the scene with the government which people trust. Like, Sharin no Kuni world is that world filled with that think the status quo is going on, and its status quo is the right thing. The order of society is the right thing, but people are fucked in their life and they don't even realize that. But Sharin no Kuni is also very intimate. There is heart in this thing. Like, this is a grandiose story about revolution, but at the same time, it's a story about broken people. It's a story about how broken people who confine to the norm of society, who cannot confine to that, or who confine to that, are miserable because of that. How living to the norm of society create this. And not just that, how some people are broken people. Some people are just broken. Some people are abused. Some people have their dark side inside them. Some people have done horrible things, have suffered from horrible things. But because of the world they live in, because of the status quo, shit is not changing. Like, they are in situation which cannot be changed. Like, law should not be used to just hurt people even more. Law should use to be heal people. Law is supposed to maintain the order of the society. By order, it does not mean to generate peace artificially through the fear, through the whatever mean it may be need. Some people may believe that might be needed, but that thing will not last long. Look at Syria recently, people. Like, if you think that you can quote unquote maintain the status quo alone, but the thing like Syria will happen. That's happened recently. Like, sometime you have to look deeper. You have to dig deeper at the individual level. Society is just a bullshit concept. In the end, it's about the people. It's about people, group of people who are trying to live their life, essentially. And Sharin no Kuni is about that. Sharin no Kuni is intimate story of hurt people who hurt themselves and who hurt others. But they think they are right. They think that their world which they live in is the right thing to do. But that thing need to change. The status quo need to be changed. And it happened from inside. It happened from the people. But yeah, even outside of this grandiose narrative, there is just something very, very beautiful about Sharin no Kuni, which is how personal it feels. Like it's in grand scheme of thing, it's just story about broken people and how humanly flawed each and every one of them is, from the protagonist to the antagonist to the heroine. Like everyone just feel like such a human person. Like everyone just feel like is suffering their pain, and it's just so relatable to see how one for their like normal life, how for their that normal life, the way they live, how one can go, how much far they can go for that, how much far they can go just for their status quo. And that's the most beautiful aspect about Sharin no Kuni. It showed that as much ugly as we are, as much fucked up the society is, there is place for compassion in this. Things can change. The situation can change. We can interact. The society can change, man. We are able to have compassion for each other. We are able of understanding each other. There is meaning behind our intimacy. Like it's story about people who abuse, hurt each other, but at same time are able to confirm their dark side. They're able to change and become better person. That's the most beautiful thing about Sharin no Kuni, that those hurt people, those fundamentally broken people from scar of their life can change. They can change. And they can challenge the status quo, but the challenge to status quo happen with the challenge from within. Like that's the most beautiful thing about Sharin no Kuni. That personal conflict between hurt and abusive people confronting their dark side and trying to make change and amends. Aspect of Sharin no Kuni in which we show what the role of law and order and justice system should be is in the case of Sachi. Sachi to me is victim of her circumstances. She is suffering from stress of the civil war, of losing her parents, and is gambling addict because of it. But her problem is a lot of self-inflicted wound. A lot of what happened to Sachi was because of herself. Sachi live a stagnated life and is satisfied with her status quo. She is happy with her life, to say the least. She is fine with the way she live, and Morita Kenichi and K.A. Higuchi Ken, our protagonist, have to make her get her out of bed and make her sure to get her obligation cancelled and make sure that she is an obligated member of society. But then we fully explore who she is and realize that something fucked is happening. Something incredibly fucked is happening. Like, Sachi is beloved person. She is airheaded, she is energetic, she is kind. She is all of those things. From surface, that is. Like, there is two-sidedness of Sachiness. Like, the kind side that I described, and the other side is someone who is sinner. A sinner of sloth. Is it her fault she ended this way? No, she isn't. Like I said, she is victim of her of the circumstances. But she have to move on for tomorrow. She have to move on for the better tomorrow. She cannot stay in her bed forever. Mitsuru Sachi cannot stay in her bed forever and live her hikikomori lifestyle. But Sachi is fine with that. And to introduce the stake, to make Sachi productive, narrative bring her a challenge. And the challenge is she have to finish her painting in 1 week. If she finish her painting, she will have enough money to save her sister. And Sachi, through tears in her eye, said, I will give it my all. The sloth person who is depressed from war is saying she will do whatever she can to save it. And then the moment of truth arrived. She have whole week of time, but she's not able to do that. She is not able to do it properly. She is not able to give her all at all in this first few weeks. She is in such a bad state that she even abused her sisters by saying, I don't want you. Go away. You can leave. You will have much better life without me. Saying that while knowing she will be alone forever, she never want to be that. She don't want to be alone, but she's there to her closest person, one who mean world to her. She says that to her. Why? Because of her nature. Because of her sloth nature. She realized that she says that something very horrible, something very terrible. And then the sight kicks in. Sights kick in that she realizes her desire. She is traumatized too. Sachi is traumatized because she can't paint. She is terrified that she will disappoint her. She is terrified of disappointing everyone because of the allegations he suffered that she plagiarized his painting when it wasn't true. In fact, her painting was better than original, but she did not realize that. Sachi is traumatized to do anything because of how much she's heard by doing painting. But at the same time, we see that how much, despite being a sloth, if one have something love for it, they would be dedicated to it. Her love was the painting, and she put her all in it. Whenever she painted, she tried to give her all. It was told that. And when we see her do that in those weeks to prepare the money to save her sister Mana, we see her dark side. We see her struggle. We see her not able to be compromising. Like, we see the conflict between all things crashing down. Her trauma of not being able to paint. Her trauma of disappointing Sachi. Her trauma of her own nature. Of suffering that I am fine with my life. I am fine with my status quo, and maybe Sachi will be fine. All of her demon bite her. But then she realized what is at the stake here. She realized that she have to give her all just so that she can save her sister, who is her only way, who is the only one who stays with her, who is her ray, who is her light. Like, Mana mean a lot to Sachi, and she does not want to lose her. So finally, after all the abuse, she realized that she cannot afford to lose her. She realized what make her do that promise in first place. She gave her all finally to save Mana, and she worked her ass off to paint, but she failed. She missed the deadline. She messed up her painting because she was working way too hard. And Mana have to go. But Sachi changed because of it. Sachi changed. Sachi gave up on being sloth. And from now on, Sachi will do her best to be a painter. Sachi will now not give up. She will try. Sachi will save enough money to get Mana back. She will do her best. She'll do her best. Toka route is something that rips me apart badly. Rip me apart badly, so much so that I don't even know what can I say. Like masterpiece, one of a kind work, generational work. Like I'm out of soliloquies for it. Like this is the part of story where I feel like I was reading one of the greatest thing ever. Like this part was this is the part of story where it just hit on a whole another level. Like my goodness, my goodness, like it is such a great story. Like it is personal, intimate story of abuse, but at the same time it have a grandiose message of fuck the society, fuck the world if it's generating hurt people hurting each other. Like that is such a wonderful message. Like it's so grandiose but so fucking intimate at the same time. Like I love it so much. The key theme of Toka Route is abuse. That's the key theme of it. On a household is filled with blood relative and the relative who were adopted. The relative who were adopted were Kyoka and Koki, both brothers and sisters, were abused throughout their childhood, and they don't know what to do with their life. Their life was ruined because of the way they were raised as a child. They were raised as a child who were told to be someone who have to confine in the normal society, and then they were raised to be perfect. They were never praised for what did they do. They were hurt. They were hurt in this abusive cycle, and Onnekyoki become a father. He become married person, but he lost his parent authority because of abuse. He abused his child. He abused his child. He and his wife abused their child so much so that they lost their parent authority and they have to work for it. And the one who raised the child, a very young child, like child around 4 to 5 age, around that time frame, like child was so much so traumatized of that she thought that the one who is raising him, aka Kyoka, is her mother. Her foster parent is her mother. She thought that. She believes that. And she adore her. She love her mother. She is submissive. Not in sexual that you creep. Toka is so submissive to whatever Kyoka said to her, she think that whatever she is saying is for the best. Whatever Kyoka think, it's for best. Until, like, she endure whatever the hellscape she tell her. Like, she tell she told her that you have to be this way. You have to become perfect. She is trying her best to make her perfect person, if that makes sense. She is raising her the way she was raised. She think that the way she is raised is the way society should go. She think that tough love is the only way. She ban her from going outside. She ban her for watching TV. She broke that rule anyway by by using radio. She broke all of the quote unquote rule made for her anyway. And Kyoka even allow it to some extent, because why not? Like, she want her to have some freedom, but yeah, she want her child to be healthy, eat well, and study. That's what she think. She does not realizing what her child dream is, and Kyoka think that way because that's how she was raised. And Toka compiled. She submitted to that. She was fine by the way her mom was raising him. Until crack starts to appear. Like, Toka is a child who is traumatized. Her trauma is like unspeakable. So much so that she is so much fucking terrified from her trauma that she actively forget what happened. She don't even remember the incident of her abuse. She is that much traumatized from her trauma. And she is subject of that. She is abused by her original parent, and her foster mother is also kinda abusing her to some extent. She is still her normal life to some extent. Toka was fine with that. Toka was totally fine with that though, because she believed what she's doing is for her best. Until arrived Kenichi. Then things become clear. Things become clear that the Onne family and the way they live their life is series of being hurt, and is hurting their future generation to some extent. The way Onne Kyoka is raising Toko such way because she is raised that way. And she is hurt. She is not trying to work on anything. She is not trying to fix the relationship with Koki, his brother. Koki is trying to rehabilitate, but he is not able to fully do that. He sent mean worded letter to Toka while being alcohol. And even Kyoka, the beloved mother, the foster home mother, have abused Toka. Toka live in such life because she believed what's best for her. But in the end, Cookie crumbled. The finale of the Toka scenario, the quote-unquote status quo, the quote-unquote cycle of norm broke. That cycle broke. We see the ugliness out. We see Kyoka blatantly abusing her so that she can get out from her. Because she loves her. because she know that Koki would be best for her. Koki have changed and is a better person when she and Koki can live with each other. But she want Toka to go with her original father instead of compromising and changing and fixing their relationship so that Toka can know both. She is forcing Toka to have one option one where if one side is chosen, other side is gone forever. She is making her choose that path, and she knows that because she want the best for her child. She want her child to live life with luxury, which Koki right now have after rehabilitation. Koki is now rich. Koki have now become better person. He is trying to change now. But Kyoka is not. Kyoka is still not willing to compromise with Koki. And why would she? She remember nothing but good. There ain't nothing good there with Koki, but cycle of sibling who were broken from abuse essentially. And she lashes out. She lashes out in final day and told Toka that this is the horrible world we in. There is no compromise. And that is the world of adult is. You have to learn that. Only to Toka say there is nothing wrong with it. Toka take her abuse with smile. Toka take her abuse with smile, man. And told her that if this is what being adult mean, then I never want to be that. If knowing the pain that there is no alternative and there is no fixing, if we live in that world, I don't want it. Like, I don't wanna be that adult. And if being adult mean that not realizing that we are hurt and we can talk about it and not fix it, then screw being adult. She says that. That's what this route is signifying. And it's about the trauma of abuse. It's about how one can heal from it, how one can come together and move on from it, and how one have to compromise with it, how one realize that they have sinned and they committed a heinous act, and how they can move on from that. And it's about what it means to be adult. Like, wonderful stuff, man. Wonderful stuff. Like how that cycle of abuse end with a child realizing it better than adult, that if we are living in a world where there is no alternative of no compromise, then screw that. Toka love for her mother never ever. She loved her for raising her since she was toddler. She love her. She will not leave her. And she will also know who her real parent Koki were. And they will try to move on from their trauma. They will overcome their history of how they hurt each other and they will try to be better for each other. That's the step. That's how we can heal. We will learn from what we did to hurt each other and make sure that that never happen again. That's how it will work. When Natsumi was child, she saved our protagonist Kenichi. Kenichi was a country bumpkin. She was totally like coddled by her sister. Like, She raised him like a kid from love, essentially. Like, she raised him with complete and total love. Like, she babied him to death, essentially. Like, she was like, hey, don't fuck with us. Ken is my boy. Don't fuck with us. Don't scare him. And give him hand job as a kid. Average thing to do with the sibling. Am I right, folks? Anyway, yeah. Natsumi was essentially Ken's second connection with anyone. Like, Ken never fully connected with his father because dad was busy, but he connected with Natsumi. Natsumi was the second person he connected with. Second person whom he likes. And there was a really beautiful scene where we see Ken being bullied. Ken realized that he's not fit for this world. When he was kid, he smelled. He can't do basic stuff because of how scared he was. Because of how scared of world he was. And it was Natsumi who hold his hand when he was at his lowest moment. Hold his hand and get him out of here. Like, she sleep outside for 2 days so Ken can get outside with her. She stayed there, dog. Natsumi stayed there. Natsumi totally accepted for who he is and what he is. And Ken change. Ken try to become better person. Ken loathed himself. Tell her that he is of no good. He is of no value to her. Why is she even attached to him? And then he asked, like, what even is merit to being attached to someone like him? And Natsumi asked, what even is merit? She asked him that, like, that purity, dog. That purity of seeing that pure childlike love just warm my heart, dog. Like, it just make my day better thinking about it. Of wow, true love. Like, this is what true love is between two child. Like, who does not care whatever the world say. We will accept each other. That's what true love is. One where they just don't care each other of what they are, and what they will do, who they are, what their weakness is, but one where they accept each other because they like their company. Like, that childlike love is just so fucking beautiful, dog. And then we see wheels being reversed. We see it was Natsumi. We see how Natsumi changed. How she become borderline abusive. How she completely changed as a person because of one false charge where she was abused badly when she was kid. She was constantly interrogated when she was supposed to be just set free in 3 days. She was harassed, and make to live with obligation, to never fall in love with someone, to never touch a male because of false charged. She is living in their society, and she and her dilemma represent the worst aspect of society. Yeah, injustice happen, but that's the way world is. That's the way society is. You got to live with it, and you can do anything about it. That's what she represent. There was no judiciary anymore to help her, and she is a broken person. Every connection she have was abusive. The one aunt who loved her died and abandoned her. Her friend left her. The one old man who was treating her as a daughter abused her. She have no reason to live, but she lived. She lived that one day her friend who have escaped will just see her. She have no courage to love him, but she just wanted him to see him. And when that reunion happened between Kenichi and Natsumi, where Kenichi revealed who he is, it wasn't that emotional breakdown we thought it was. Instead, Natsumi became even more depressed. That Kenichi saw her in her pathetic state. She saw her for what he was. She is. She was terrified that Kenichi saw her in her current face. She is no longer that smiling child she was. And she currently no longer have any will to live. The friend she just was waiting for all of her life essentially come back and see her, and she was fucking terrified. The hope of her life turned out to be a nightmare for her. She was terrified, but at the same time, when Ken revealed his identity to her, they talk. They at least talked now and try to know each other. But her trauma was too much. Her trauma was just way too much. Hozuki revealed to her, bring her, and tell her that you can. Hey, why the fuck are you even leaving? Low tier god yourself. And yeah, your parents are dead. You have nothing to live for. Why are you even here? And yeah, if you die, Kenichi exam will be over. And she was like, yeah, you know what? Maybe I will die. She was on that stage. They was on that stage until Ken hold her hand and told her, hey, if you want to die, let me die with you. We will die together. And they go in forest and have confrontation. And she told her Kenny about her past, of how many relationships she was betrayed, and she is in that stage where person she was waiting the most, person she trusts the most is here, but even then she cannot love him anymore. She was no longer in that stage to live anymore. Like, she cannot live anymore. She thinks she cannot love anymore. Like, she was done. Natsumi was broken until finale happened, man. In that trial, Hozuki tried to break her again by saying she does not love him. And then trick Ken, and to break her even more, told her to break her even more, he was about to execute and punish Ken until she smiled, dog. Like the girl who was forbidden for her whole life, the girl who have no longer any will to live, for the person she was living for the person whom just seeing his glimpse would be enough. She was doing that. For him, she will tell that she loves him. She is the one who touched him. She is the one who loved him. And she will live happily for him. She will do whatever it need for him. Like the girl who was sent to punishment of love, declare her love in front of person who was fucking Voldemort. Like in front of devil himself in Hozuki. She's tell her resolute that how much she loved him. She is in that punishment because she cannot stop loving. She is in that punishment because of that. But she will not stop. She will keep believing. She keeps saying that nothing in life will happen that can break her. Whatever happen, but she will try to live. And she will do anything for that. To live for the person she loves. So that the person she can love can also live. Anything for his loved one, man. That broken person still have resolve. After seeing hell after hell after hell after hell, in the lowest moment, she's still here. She's still here and have will. Have that will because the person she loves is here. And for her, Ken will fight the society. Revolution will happen in society for this girl. If society fuck this girl, then fuck this society. The world is unfair and this unfairness will change. That's what it represents. This is what Sharin no Kuni is all about. And then we can fix that. Like seeing a girl who just was traumatized through her entire life. Like nothing was there for her. And so seeing her just being finally embraced by person she loved. That scene before the trial where Ken hugged her and she just begged him, can you just please embrace me more? Even if it's wrong, can you just embrace me more for a minute? Her cries, like when they return home for not committing suicide and when Ken just hugged her. Dog, that was beautiful. That was just beautiful, man. And that confession, that pure confession for the person she loved. After that, she realized that I have one that I can trust. I have someone that I can love in Ken. That was the person she realized. Ken told her, Ken healed her. And for him, she will change. The one who was broken from the society smiled. And for her, a revolution will happen. Anything for her will happen, dog. Anything will happen. For her, she will do anything. Like that purity of Natsumi, dog. Just beautiful stuff.